Hello everyone, and welcome back to Director's Corner, the first one of 2022. This one's going to be a bit of a shorter one, since, there isn't as much to say, for reasons that I'll get into in a bit. But I still wanted to keep you guys updated on what is going on and what has been going on. That's exactly what this show is for, if you want to call it a show. I think the big question is, why has there been, a relative lack of videos? There's been far fewer videos over this last quarter than there have been before. And the simple reason for that is one that I mentioned. I alluded to it in the most recent screenwriter's pitch. That is that I've been sick. Like, it's, if it was just one thing, it would have been fine, but it was a whole chain of events. In December, I had like a normal like cold, like flu thing. It lasted a couple weeks, wasn't particularly pleasant, and combining that with all the other things that were going on around then meant I just was exhausted. Whenever I did have free time, and so it was difficult to find the motivation to do anything, frankly, but especially YouTube videos, because in terms of priority on this channel, the top priority goes to our short films, features, and shows. Like, all those things kind of take priority for us. So anything that isn't that, which basically falls under the category of just every other like YouTube stuff that we do, is like Screenwriter's Pitch, Director's Corner, the podcast, and all that stuff is not as much of a priority for us as the productions that we have. So whenever it's like a dilemma of, we have only this much time to do this or that, what do we use that time for? The answer 9 times out of 10 is going to be our productions and not the other YouTube videos that we do. So that's like another one of the reasons. But like I said, in December I was sick. I had like a cold, like flu thing. I don't know. I don't really know exactly what it was, but it was fine. Like, it was all good. And then in January, I caught COVID. So 2 weeks into the new year, bam, immediately, that good old Omicron wave struck like a motherfucker. And I'm fine, as you can see. I'm still standing, but for what time I did have it, it was pretty rough, I'll be honest. Look, it could be a lot worse. I'm young and in good physical condition, so my immune system wasn't too bothered about it. But yeah, a lot of headaches, a lot of coughing, and the main annoying thing was that I was absolutely exhausted. If I wasn't tired before in December, boy, when I got COVID, I was absolutely just out. Like, I had no energy whatsoever at any point in the day to do anything. So that certainly didn't help. So I've been sick for like the last 2 months, basically. So that's obviously taken me out for some time, taken me out of commission. But of course, that's not the only thing taking up my time. Like I, just sort of referenced, we're very hard at work on Spider-Man Life and Gotham Pizza 2. On the Spider-Man side, it's production. On Gotham Pizza, it's post-production. On one end, we're filming stuff, and that's, obviously a whole ordeal, which I'll get into a bit more. And Gotham Pizza is post-production, which is not nearly as bad of an ordeal. If it weren't for the fact that my computer, which is what I used to edit the film on, decided to have a bit of an oopsie, and it shat itself, and so I had to get it repaired. Luckily, it wasn't any major issue, and I keep like everything on external hard drives. I've relatively little on my actual Mac, but nevertheless, I had to get it fixed, and that took way longer than I thought it would. Like, for me, I was thinking like, oh, it'll take like an afternoon. No, it took way longer than that. So I didn't have my Mac for a surprisingly long amount of time, way longer than I thought it would. Couldn't edit anything on that, including YouTube videos, right? I couldn't edit anything, so be it Gotham Pizza or anything else, I couldn't edit that either. So for a good chunk of January, couldn't edit anything at all. So between having Corona and then following that up with my computer shitting itself, you know, it's not great overall in terms of giving me time to do anything. Like it's not been an ideal situation, I'll be honest. But on the bright side, you know, now everything's good. I neither have COVID nor have a dysfunctional computer. Everything's all good. But to give you the good news, post-production on Gotham Pizza going very well, and we're perfectly on track to meet the release date on February 22nd. But it's a thing that we like doing. It's a massive inside joke for us. It's just this thing. It's like an ode to our friendship in a sense. So it means something special to us, and it's an opportunity for us to just have a laugh. I mean, we don't take it seriously, and really neither should you. Just have fun with it is really what I say. And we hope that you do have fun with it. We really want to make it as fun as possible, and it's a good time making it. And so we all hope that you have as good a time watching it as we had making it. So now on to Spider-Man Life, which, on the other hand, is much closer to being the hot ticket, if we're continuing with that analogy. Production's going great, I would say, with a bit of an asterisk. But what we are shooting, boy, I've rarely been so enamored. I don't know if that's the right word, but I am just so in love with what we're doing here, and I'm so in awe of all the incredibly wonderful, amazing, talented people that I've gotten to work with on this project. And yeah, that's just been really a blessing. Absolutely. The difficulty with the project, it comes down to its nature, which is not so much it being a fan film. That's not really the problem, but rather that it's on a relatively low budget. Granted, this is the most expensive project we've ever done, like by a mile, but still, it's like nothing, And the way that we get around that, the way that we're able to still do, create this product that I'm super, super proud of, and I honestly cannot wait to show you, is that we're working off of people's time, right? We're all the people that are working on this are working on it for free. We simply just don't have the money to pay people for this. So what that means is that we are working on their time, right? So we're only able to shoot according to their schedules. And so to line up everybody's schedules, correctly in order to get all the actors, all the performers, and everyone lined up, that's obviously a bit of a difficulty. Sometimes, you can line up almost everyone, but one person, in the cast that needs to be there can't be, and so the whole shoot has to be called off. So it means that it's we don't get to shoot as consistently as we might like. In some instances we were able to shoot several days in a row. Other times there's like gaps of several weeks where we're not able to shoot anything. But I'm not complaining. The mere fact that we have to work around their schedule in some sense, I'm honestly not going to complain. Because it's already so kind of them to let us use any of their time at all for a project that they're working on for free, that I really have no room to complain. All I'm doing right now is trying to convey to you why this project is taking so long. That's the reason. And you compile that with the fact that it's a very large cast, so there's a lot of schedules to try and line up. Now, sure, not all of them are in scenes constantly together at the same time, but there are sufficiently enough that need to be in scenes together that it's a bit of a hassle to organize. But we're able to get it done. What this all means is that as it's looking right now, and it's not confirmed, I'm not making any huge announcement, this is just kind of how things are looking right now. It is somewhat unlikely that the series will hit the summer 2022 release date. And honestly, I'm the first person who's heartbroken about this. Having to announce a release date and then retract that or delay that in some way, it sucks. And we didn't announce that release date lightly. I mean, we spent a long time shooting before we announced any kind of release date. And when we announced the release date, we were basically looking at, okay, well, how much of the film have we shot? And, you know, how long has it taken us to do that? And so we kind of did the math and we're like, okay, well, realistically, if you factor in post-production and, you know, a bit of a wiggle room, like, you know, for in case we get some delays in production, if you factor in everything, what seemed like a reasonable release date, and honestly, summer of 2022 seemed like a reasonable release date back when we made that announcement. Things have changed, right? You know, we haven't shot at the same rate that we did back then, and part of that has to do with COVID, because a number of people working on the project caught it at one time or another, and that includes me. So I'm not like, you know, I'm not exempt from this issue, but you know, and nobody caught it on the set, which is fortunate. I'd be very upset with myself if that were to have happened. Everyone who caught it some other way, be it on some other set or just, you know, like through an acquaintance or whatever. Like, there's a tons of ways to catch COVID, but the point is, like, it didn't happen on our set, you know, fortunately. But it meant that our set therefore had to close down until we could get those people back once they, you know, quarantined and once they were out and about again. But, you know, scheduling conflicts is the main issue, I would say. You combine those two things, COVID and scheduling conflicts, and you have our situation where we're moving. We certainly are. We are moving, but at a much slower pace than I would have liked. You know, I remain optimistic that things will pick up in the coming months, and we're able to kind of get back into the swing of things, pun intended. But who knows? It's impossible to tell at this point, and I've kind of given up trying to predict that. Which is why I'm not going to announce any other release date right now. And like I said, hey, maybe a miracle might happen and things will progress at such a rate that we will be able to hit the August release date. I'm just saying, right now it's not looking overly likely, I must say. And like, I'm heartbroken about this. It really does break my heart to have to say that. But, you know, I'd rather be honest and say that, because, look, if that does end up being the case, you would find out sooner or later. And, you know, I'd rather just kind of put that out there, you know, now as a possibility, and be like, hey guys, just a fair warning. This, you know, just like we may not hit that release date, just letting you know, so that if that does confirm to be the case, it's not too bad of a shock. But I do want to give you some good news. I do want to give you, you know, a bit of something, and that is that you will get your first look at the series in April, around Easter. That's when we're going to be putting out something pretty major. We've been very like hush-hush and very like, you know, I don't want to say secretive, but, you know, we've kept a lot of details about Spider-Man life close to the chest, and that's all about to change in April. That's where we're planning on releasing something. The plan, and I'll be honest with you, the plan was to release some sort of early teaser of some sorts in December, but it really just, we didn't feel like we had enough footage, or rather not enough of the footage we need, because we've shot a lot of the series so far. We've shot quite a bit of it, but just not enough of the type of scenes that would really, you know, be needed for some sort of teaser. So rather than force something out that we wouldn't be entirely happy with, it was like, look, let's wait this. And so Easter, you can mark your calendars, something's coming out then. Again, gonna stay a bit hush-hush on exactly what that is, but I'm just gonna say you can expect some sort of teaser around Easter time, so you can look forward to that. Oh, and one last thing, I really wanted to thank you guys for the support on the most recent Screenwriter's pitch. We tried a bit of a different format with that, and like I mentioned in the video, it's largely because I was sick when I made it, and so I just really didn't have the energy to do the full Screenwriter's pitch treatment. But you guys seem to really love it, and I think it's one of the best performing videos on the channel, I think, which is pretty crazy. So that's really cool. And one of the coolest things about it is reading the comments. Like I say, I absolutely adore reading the comments. It's my favorite part of making YouTube videos is seeing you guys' thoughts on it. And seeing a ton of people who are like, you know, I'm an MCU fan, I love this version of the character, and even I think that like this rewrite is better. Like, that's just like warms my heart, honestly. It makes me very proud as a screenwriter to read that. So thank you very much for all the kind words. And you know, we hit 500 subs, which is great. I'm very happy about that. We're halfway to 1,000, which is really cool. It's really great to have you guys along for the ride. And you know, I think you guys are going to really love what we've got in store for the rest of this year. This is our 2nd year on this new channel, our 8th year in total on YouTube. So yeah, it's a pretty exciting time right now. Like I said, you know, I'm sorry that we haven't been able to progress on Spider-Man Life as much as honestly I wish we would have. But yeah, look, the reality is that things are what they are. You know, with the nature of a shoot like this, we should be lucky to even be able to be doing as much as we are. You know, you got to count your blessings, honestly. And right now, I mean, we are incredibly blessed with this shoot, and I'm super proud of all the work we've done on it. And I'm very excited for all the work that we're going to do in the future. Huge shout out to just all the people that have worked on this project so far. It's been wonderful working with all of you. So I'm really excited to keep going on that. And I can't wait to show all of you guys all of that. It really, it's, you know, it's frustrating to have to hold that all in. You know, I'm so tempted all the time to just throw everything out there and you know, but I'm like, no, let's keep it close to the chest, and you know, we'll reveal it when it's time, and really make it worthwhile. It'll be worth the wait, basically. So thank you very much for watching this video. Thank you so much for watching us throughout all of 2021, and hope to see you throughout all of our various bits of content in 2022. So thank you very much, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.